Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast. Today is Wednesday, 10th May 2017. I am Fredicia Liburd. The Nevis Division of the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce hosted a meeting with the Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Vance Amory, yesterday, Tuesday, at his office at Penny's. Chairman of the board is Ernie France.
This is our first meeting for the year, and so we are hoping that we will also be able a little later this year to sit down with you again and to discuss a number of issues which we always bring to the table and which we think are of importance and relevance to the private sector here on Nevis.
Premier Amory said he always welcomes healthy discussions that can positively impact the island.
The critical thing for us is to ensure that we have the ongoing development, ongoing employment, increasing employment, which does a lot of things because of the spin-offs and those possible things or positive things which could come out of investment, out of the creation of jobs, and making sure that our people have employment so that they can earn a living.
Amory also spoke on the issue of crime in the Federation.
We want to have a consistency in the approach to doing the patrols, working in community. A lot has been said about community policing, and that is something which we encourage very strongly and ask the police to get to know the people whom they are serving in the community. I feel if we are able to get the police to develop that trust of the people in community, we may move from the anecdotal that such and such a person is involved in criminal activity to getting the hard evidence supplied by those who in community who know, so that we might be able to, one, prevent if something is in the making, two, get the information and the evidence to do the arrest and do the conviction of anyone who is involved in criminality.
Also present were members of the board, including Alice Tyson, Deborah Lelouch, Oscar Walters, John Yearwood, and Warren Moving. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, commends St. Kitts and Nevis's strong economic performance amidst a difficult global economic backdrop. St. Kitts and Nevis's economy achieved 3.2% growth in 2016. In C. Otker, the IMF mission chief, on the 2017 Article 4 consultation to St. Kitts and Nevis, told the press unit in the office of the Prime Minister late last week that notwithstanding a difficult international environment, St. Kitts and Nevis's economy grew at a modest pace in 2016, and it is expected to grow again in 2017 for the fifth consecutive year. She said its growth performance in fact exceeded the average growth rate achieved by its peers in the ECCU region, which is quite impressive. The IMF official also said of St. Kitts and Nevis's economic performance in relation to the 8-member Eastern Caribbean Currency Union ECCU, comprising Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Grenada, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Otker continued, the country's strong economic performance owes a lot to the robust citizenship by investment inflows and their spillovers to the economy, as well as the overall prudent macroeconomic policies of the government. In celebration of Nurses Week 2017, the Nevis Nurses Association held an educational symposium at the Alexandra Hospital's conference room earlier today. The featured speaker of the symposium was Anela Claxton. Claxton spoke at length about the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, and how nurses can continue to achieve them. SDG number 1 is poverty. Claxton outlined how nurses can help to eliminate poverty.
Eliminating poverty can go a long way in reducing the effects of many diseases and illnesses. When you recognize that persons are experiencing challenges due to poverty, you have the ability to assist. Identify and help them to access proper services, and you have done this in the past, and I know you will continue to do this.
The featured speaker also spoke about SDG number 2, which is eradicating hunger.
One of the starkest consequences of hunger is malnutrition. Malnutrition has a direct impact on the individual's health, their ability to perform academically, and to reach their full potential. Nurses, and in particular our district nurses, you can and have been identifying persons who suffer with the effects of malnutrition and have been among the leaders who enable this goal to be achieved.
She also spoke about SDG number 3, which is good health and well-being, and commended the nurses for the work they've been doing for persons on the island.
You and your esteemed supporting health practitioners have been doing an exceptional job. And you have been integral in the movement to reduce non-communicable diseases on this island. And I want to commend all of you who are here, as well as your colleagues who are on duty, and give all of you a round of applause for your work in ensuring good health and well-being. You have provided support to the various stakeholders, like myself and my other colleagues, to ensure that preventative measures are in place and that treatment is at its highest possible level for those who have been diagnosed. I encourage you and implore you to stay up to date with the trends and issues which affect us in healthcare. And I want you to be advocates for change. And as an association, you can be a strong voice. You hear that word? You can be a strong voice, promoting improved conditions and resources so that you can provide optimal care to all.
Various nurses from all healthcare facilities on the island were present at the symposium. Other activities for Nurses Week include a Nurses Play Day at the Jessups Community Center tomorrow, Thursday, 11th May. The theme for Nurses Week is Nurses, a voice to lead achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Still to come, Agriculture Awareness Month activities continue with Rodent Control Workshop. The details when we return.
If you like dancing and whining and fretting till the morning, if you like
drinking, masquerading, live music always playing,
if you like islands of blue seas where people always smiling, if you like
street jams and bandstands where people will be jamming, don't you miss this time, no.
in this country I'm a 43.
Our festival, our legacy,
I'm a 43.
don't you miss this time, no.
In this country I'm a 43.
The Caribbean's greatest summer lion,
In this country I'm a
don't you miss this time, no.
In this country I'm a 43.
Our festival, our legacy,
I'm a 43.
don't you miss this time, no.
In this country I'm a 43.
The Caribbean's greatest summer lion.
In this country I'm a 43.
Welcome back. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, lauds the federal government's effort to foster inclusive growth and fill the skills gap with the Skills Training Empowerment Program, STEP. STEP, which was launched on February 16, 2017, provides valuable real-world training to participants, equipping them with the right skills to fill vacancies and achieve upward mobility. According to the results for the Development Institute RD4, by the year 2030, there will be 3.5 billion people in the global workforce. However, 1 billion of those people, including 75 million youths, will not have the necessary skills to find a job, says R4D, a global non-profit organization. NNC Local, the IMF mission chief, on the 2017 Article 4 consultation to St. Kitts and Nevis, stated that programs like STEP serve the high-end needs of the economy and help to overcome persistent structural challenges such as the skills gap that continue to limit the potential for inclusive growth. The IMF team led by NNC Local visited St. Kitts and Nevis between April 18th and May 3rd as part of the routine Article 4 consultation on the country. The Department of Agriculture held a Control of Rodents workshop on Tuesday, 9th May at the Department of Agriculture's conference room as part of the activities for Agriculture Awareness Month. Director of Agriculture Randy Elliott implored the participants to use the knowledge gained at the workshop and put it into practice.
This workshop is very important as you will be here over the next hour and a half, 2 hours. I do hope that the information that Mr. Pop is going to transfer to you guys, that you all take it, use it wisely, and this sort of training is very important as you will take it back to your workplace, within your professions, and also to share the knowledge that you gain here to the wider public.
According to Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Eric Evelyn, a wide cross-section of persons were invited to participate in the workshop, including the hotel industry, farmers, customs and excise department, and supermarkets.
We know that rodents affect not only farmers, rodents affect households. And so that is why we have such a broad cross-section of persons today. Of course, we know that our farmers cry out now and again for the effects of rodents. And so we are happy that some of our farmers are here. We're happy that some of our pest control operators are here and some of our other stakeholders where rodents are concerned. So I would just like to thank thank the organizers of the workshop, and I want to say a special thank you to you for coming out and for being a part of this session.
Facilitator of the workshop was Pablo Perdomo, Regional Sales Manager based in the Dominican Republic.
The main objective of today is gonna be to bring awareness to the people of the threat rodents are. You know, I always remember my mother and my grandma when they talk about rodents, about how disgusting they are, but they don't grasp the full threat they are when they're, I would call them a vehicle of diseases, because everything that comes with them affects us. From the feces, to the fleas, to the insects that live inside of the rat. All that, it's really harmful for us. So I would thank all of you that all the information that you pick up today, you share it with the other citizens of Nevis.
The workshop was sponsored by the TDC Group of Companies and its corporate partner, Renwick Do West. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Fredericia Liburd. Thank you for viewing.